Hey K-1 friends, go ahead and grab your time packet out. We are going to work on 2 pages in here. Just a quick review of your clock. Remember, you have the 2 hands. The hour hand is a short one. That's the one you talk about first when you're saying what time it is. So 8 o'clock. Then you have the minute hand that moves around whenever as it goes around, and then the hour moves. That doesn't move as accurately as this one.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe you should just use the big one.
So you have the minute hand that's always moving every 60 seconds. I'm going really fast. And so, for example, now, so this one, it's up here, it's o'clock. So it's 0 minutes have passed the beginning of the hour. It's 9 o'clock, it's the beginning. When you've gone halfway, it is now not 9 o'clock, but 9:30. So you count the minutes. So my first grade friends, this is in kindergarten, you can listen too. If I were to put my minute hand here on the 8, you would still start with the hour, which is 9. It's not on the 10 yet. And what minutes are it at? Look at the side, the smaller blue numbers. It's 8:40 is what you would call that. Now what would happen, I did this with Christopher, if my minute hand was here and then it went here. So it's not on the 55, but it's on the next little minute mark. Still not on 10 yet. It's almost there because we're not to the beginning of the new hour. So it would be 9. There's 55. What would the next number be? 56. 9:56. So that's telling time to the minute. And then you would keep going 4 more minutes. And now it's at the beginning of another hour. It's 10 o'clock. So that's how the minutes work. Like if you want to know to the minute what time we're doing something. We'll keep practicing that, but I'm going to read a fun book called Telling Time with Puppies and Kittens. The book's going to talk a little bit about what we've already learned about, so I might go a little quicker through that. But once we get to where they tell us the time, use your clock to show the time on here. All right, Telling Time with Puppies. So some words to know, just like we've talked about. A digital clock, which is, they don't have it on here, which is this one that shows the number, the actual time to the minute. And then you have the analog clock, which is here. Then you have the hour and the minute. So we've talked about that. What time is it? We measure time in minutes, hours, and days. Days are filled with running, napping, and eating, especially if you're a puppy or a kitten. We look at clocks to tell the time. Some clocks have faces, so that's the face of the clock, and some do not. And they both show what time. Who can tell what time it is? Show that on your clock. It's 7 o'clock. Clocks with faces. This clock has a face with numbers and hands that move. The hands show what time it is. This is called a face clock or analog clock. There are hands on the face clock that show us the time. Then you have clock without faces. This clock does not have a face. It has numbers that change, and the numbers tell us what time it is. This is called a digital clock. I used to have one that looked like this. They don't look as much like that anymore. The numbers on this clock are digital. As you can see, they're more straight numbered instead of curved. To tell time, all you have to do is look. Look at the minute hand, which is the big hand, that tells you if it's a new hour, and you look at the hour hand, it's on the 3, and it tells you what hour it is. So it's 3 because it's a new hour, like they said, it's 3 o'clock. And then when the minute hand moves onto the 12, it's a new hour. Oh, look, I used the same words that they used. And I hadn't read this yet. Now, you try. Tell time to the hour on these clocks. Put your clock on 12 o'clock. I'm going to give you some time to do that. So both hands are on the 12. And we're just going to go around, so you can just keep moving that hour hand. Now, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. What do you think comes next? 5 o'clock. So keep that minute hand on the 12. 6 o'clock. We're up and down all the way to the 6 and the top. 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock. And then 11 o'clock. And then what would come after that? Back to the beginning again. So that's how our time works. Now, we just learned this, telling time to the half hour, because look how it's the half of the clock. So now the time is 9:30. The minute hand has gone halfway from the 12 around the clock. So now it's your turn. So go ahead and put This is where it's going to go. Your minute hand is going to go on the 12, and it's going to be 12:30. So put your, hour hand on the 12, minute hand on the 6 to make 12:30. Then you're going to move it 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. You guys doing this with me? 4:30, 5:30. Now they're all together. 6:30. What's this one? 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, and back to where we were at, 12:30. So we just did it on ours instead of showing you this one. So telling time with digital clocks. So this is written with the 12 and the 2 colons and the 0. 12 o'clock, 1:30. 2 o'clock, I know it is. Is that better?
No. I've got glare.
We have glare.
There we go.
Is that better? 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. See, this one you don't even have to think about. You just read the numbers.
Yeah,
7:30.
It's o'clock.
Yep. 8 o'clock, 9:30, and they have the words down here if you can. Hopefully it's not glared. So 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11:30. So that's how you read a digital clock. So digital clocks are much quicker. Oh my gosh, look at that little puppy. Looks like Tracker. Puppies wake up. Good morning, pup. It's 8 o'clock. Puppies eat breakfast at 9 o'clock. Oh yes, so this is what we told too. We use AM for morning hours, and you might see 9 o'clock in the morning written as 9 AM as I showed you that one time. Look, they're eating breakfast. At 10 o'clock, so you can move your clock to that, kittens stay inside, some chase balls, and others hide. At 11:30, find 11:30, splish splash, puppy needs a bath. At 12 o'clock, what do you think it's time for? Puppies and kittens eat lunch. How they eat so much. I'm sure all of you are saying, "Aw," because you would. You do it in class all the time. It's time for a nap. Puppies sleep, kittens dream of snacks. So 12:30 is snack time. Nap time, sorry. Oh, there's Tracker, look at him. This one has more white than Tracker did. Some puppies run around at 2 o'clock. So find your clock, do it at 2 o'clock. Some kittens go to the playground at 3:30. At 5 o'clock, so show your 5 o'clock, puppies and kittens eat every bite. And at 6:30, grab a brush or two. It's time for puppies and kittens to groom. Look at the cut. Have you ever seen kittens do that? They lick their paws to clean. Time, at 7:30. Time for one last trip outside. Some puppies bark at noises. Others chase butterflies. At 8 o'clock, oh my goodness, it's time for bed. Puppies and kittens rest their sleepy heads. Sweet dreams. And then this is just reviewing all of them. Look at all the Dalmatians. All the different times that we just talked about. And the parts of a clock, the face, the hour hand, the minute hand, the numbers. And how the digital clock just has the hour and the minutes. All right, so in your time packet, there is a page that looks like this. Both pages look like this, and those are the ones you're going to do today. So you're going to, I'll just use my marker. Tells you a time in the analog clock, and you're going to write what it is on the digital clock. So if you look at the hour hand, it's not on the 8 yet, and it's not on the 7. So remember, you go, if it's in between, you do the one that's before. So it's 7. And then the minute hand is on the 6. So who remembers what that is? If you look at our clock here, you count the minutes. 30. 7:30. Now, this is where it's different for kindergarten and first grade. This, in kindergarten, you can do this. You are more than welcome to. But first grade, this next part is for you mostly. You're going to do the 7:30, and then you're going to write it in words. Kindergarten, you can do this. It's a great challenge. But first grade, that is your job. So 7:30. And then you do the next one. 8 is where the hour hand is. And where's the minute hand? On the 12. So what numbers do you draw for the 12? You might have written 60, but you also, when it's up there It's the beginning of a new hour, so it's 2 zeros, so 8 o'clock. And then first grade or anyone who wants that challenge.